Hi, everybody. I'm Kirstin Odonovan, multinational productivity coach, author, and founder of Top Results Coaching. I'm from South Africa, but I live in Europe at the moment. And I enjoy working with my clients from all over the world. I've been helping my clients free up time, get more organized, and create more of the life they want for over the last 6 years. I've helped many mothers in similar situations wanting to do more, but just not finding the time to do it. I'm so excited to share some great value with you today on 4 ways to boost your productivity to achieve more in months than you would in years. This is the fourth step in taking back control of your time. So let's go straight into it and look at the top 4 different concepts of boosting your productivity now. So the first way is, are you thinking or thoughting? I know thoughting is not a word, but I love it. See, because the reason I put thinking or thoughting is, did you know that around 40% of your daily actions are on automatic? You do not make a conscious decision with everything that you're doing every day because most of your actions are habit, right? And of course, this definitely serves you in many ways. I mean, imagine if you had to learn how to brush your teeth again every single day. I mean, can you imagine? But obviously, other times it doesn't serve you though, especially when you come up with some unwarranted excuses and you hold on to some limiting beliefs that stopped you from being as productive as you could or can be. And so what we don't realize is that half of us are on automatic. We're just doing, and the other half, we're actually consciously deciding what we want to do. But some of the typical phrases that you'll find yourself saying on automatic without even realizing is, I'm too busy to find time to study. I've never been organized or productive. I never will be. Right? He or she is the reason why I can't. Or I want to do so much, I just can't. You can fill in the blanks. The thing is that we automatically, these thoughts come up, all right? The thoughting, and we just assume that that is our reality and that they are real, and we take action on that, right? So it's only when you start to challenge your own excuses and your limiting beliefs that you will really find out how much truth or fact there really is to it. So start questioning your excuses and limiting beliefs, and you will get more done. So what I always do is, you can always identify what you're thinking by, first of all, it's easier what you're feeling. So if you're starting to feel stressed and overwhelmed, stop there in that moment and say, what am I thinking right now that's causing me to feel this way? Let's say you're feeling really, really stressed, and the first thing that comes to your mind when you ask yourself that is, well, I'm just too busy to get everything done today. I'm just too busy. How am I going to get everything done? Okay? So stop right there. Those are the thoughts that are causing you to feel that way. How am I going to get everything done? I'm too busy to get everything done. Right? If you start to challenge that thought, it might look something like, well, I know that I've got a lot to get through today. What is the best way for me to manage this? And when you start to ask yourself the question, your mind's going to come up with some solutions instead of just saying, I'm just too busy to do this and I'm overwhelmed. It's just impossible. And you just stay with that feeling. So really, when we can actually identify a thought, we can catch it and say, is this the way that I want to be questioning the things and ask, and, the thoughts that I have in my mind? Because the quality of your thoughts is the quality of your life. So really, separate your thoughts between automatic thoughts. We've got about 60,000 thoughts that come into our head every single day. Not all of them are real, so challenge them. How do I want to be thinking as opposed to just listening to my thoughts and be thoughting, right? So the first way in boosting your productivity is taking control of your thoughts and your mindset. Yes, this is so much easier said than done, but this is one of the biggest areas where if you start working on, you're going to see a huge difference in your life. Without further ado, okay, guys, so let's move on to looking at apps, using apps and technology to boost your productivity. You have never had so many different tools and apps available to help you leverage your time than we do at the moment. Are you taking advantage of this? don't think you need to be completely tech savvy to be able to use apps. There are so many apps which are easy to use, so straightforward, and a wealth of them are completely free. So it shouldn't need to cost you anything, but only save you. So if you want to be more productive, there's never been an easier time to tap into the free resources out there. I mean, there are apps that are going to help you organize and synchronize your information, prioritize your to-dos, and give you focus, right? There's also apps I mentioned earlier, music apps to help you concentrate more easily, and those that will help you to automate your to-do lists, right? And put them into a planned schedule. Whatever your need is, there is sure to be an app for you. You will be amazed at how much technology there is. And if you're using it properly, it can boost your productivity and support you in getting so much done. What about Manila? I mean, Manila is a free online and mobile household account and bill organizer. It helps you manage your credit cards, all your accounts, your phone bills, subscriptions, travel rewards, coupons. It can even shoot you an email, remind you when you need to pay your bills, right? Flag you when you're getting payments or when anything's leaving your bank account. So you can even consolidate all your financial activities. That's just another example. Never mind just about your time. It can save you overall in your personal life. What about emails, right? This app publishes more than 30 meal plans, okay? It corresponds with a grocery list every week, which you can personalize based on your preferences, your family size, how many people you have, what's on sale in your preferred grocery store, very localized. Even if you've got low carb, gluten free, organic dishes, low fat, you've got everything there, right? And the person who actually founded the site, she's a mother of four, and she created it because she was struggling, with meal planning. It was something that was taking up so much of her time. And so she created this app for other mothers. And now she's got no problem feeding her large family on a small budget with a weekly meal plan of her own creation, which is just absolutely amazing. So really, there's so much support and help out there in terms of apps that can really help you boost your productivity. So think of what would be amazing, and then just go out there and see if it exists. I'm sure. The third tip I'm going to give you is to clear your head, and I really don't want to skip over this at all. Okay, clear your head. It's really impossible to gain perspective. I know it's truly essential if you're in the middle of an information stream. The point is our mind is not there just to keep all of this information active. We need to place it somewhere. And that was the idea of keeping a notebook, right? So you can jot down your ideas. Then you can free up that headspace for new ideas, because that's when it feels overwhelming, when you have so much going on in your head. So what you need to do is clear that. Once it's clear, the overwhelmment lessens, the stress lessens, and from that place, you can take much better action, right? So, take a few minutes regularly and shut off the information flow and get a larger view of life. The time you take off will be well worth it. Tell everybody that you're unavailable. Shut off all your communications. Shut yourself in somewhere private and take time to think about it as what's important for you. You have to give yourself permission to put yourself first. Because if you are not fine, if you are not healthy, nothing else around you is going to be. And that's really, really important. So if you're not in the right frame of mind, nobody else around you is going to benefit from that. Is going to be in a worse place because of that. So it seems almost ridiculous to consider taking time to clear your mind when you're struggling to find time. It's actually doing this that is going to keep you sane. All right. And it's actually when you come from that place that you're able to take action on everything else. So it does seem like a bit of a paradox, but it's actually the reason why most people are feeling the way they do is because they don't clear their head or take time to clear their head. Another good way to clear your head, which is necessary for focus, is to write down everything, right? That you need to do, your tasks, your projects, your ideas. Just keep writing it down every single day. And this is a habit, guys. This isn't something that you do once, as we said, and then it becomes easier. And lastly, start to meditate if you have time. the benefits are astounding on your levels of stress. Even 10 minutes, even 5 minutes a day have enormous, enormous, enormous benefits. Too many to mention right now, but if you do a Google research and you look at some of the leading sites on this, you will be amazed at what 5 minutes of meditation can do for your stress levels. Because at the end of the day, I think what we all share and what we're all familiar with is just feeling overwhelmed and stressed and just feeling frustrated at that constant feeling and just like it's never ending. And if we can just remove that feeling, life is so much more different. And that's in your hands, because stress is something that exists, but the way that you manage stress is your choice. So I really just wanted to put that out there, and boosting your productivity means gaining clarity. And lastly, building your willpower. And finally, the last tip in being more productive is increasing your willpower. Yes, of course, because we have a big part of us called the limbic system, which is always looking for pleasure, right? And then you've got your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of you that plans and know what's right. But the prefrontal cortex gets tired very easily. It's one of the newest part of the brains. Your limbic system will almost always win, and that's when we find ourselves procrastinating. The point is that to keep yourself being productive, you need to know how to manage your willpower so that even when you're not feeling productive, you can get that willpower to keep going. So how can we increase our willpower? I'm going to give you 6 quick ways to do that. The first one is boost your energy supply, right? Because willpower, if you think about it, right, it's a combination of self-discipline, control over yourself and your behavior. And you need willpower at those times when you need to exert yourself more, when things don't come easy. And especially being a mother, there are times when you really need to exert your willpower. So if you ever thought that you don't have willpower, and you know that you're never going to have it because it's something that you're born with, the good news is that, you know, the willpower is not a gene, it's a muscle. And the more you practice, the more you have. So boosting your energy supply. If you exert your willpower, you're reducing your energy and your blood glucose levels. So if you ensure that you're replenishing your glucose continuously throughout the day, you're actually going to have more willpower. And that's a fact. Reducing the amount of decision making as well. The more decisions you're making every single day, the lower self-control you're going to feel at the end of the day. So less decisions, the better you're going to feel at the end of the day, and the more self-control you're going to have. Finding the connection in the moment. The more disconnected you feel from what you're doing and what you want in the future, the harder it'll be to take action. So if you're not connecting with, you know, finding time to study and sit down on what you're doing with how it's going to benefit you in the future, obviously it's going to be much more difficult to take action. So find a connection in the moment. Keep connecting what you're doing now with how it's benefiting you in the future, and remind yourself that your future self will love you for that. The fourth one, inhibit the limbic system. You will use heaps of willpower fighting temptations, like I said. So instead of, just using up all this energy, rather eliminate them, right? Eliminate the temptations. If you know that things are going to be tempting you and distracting you, get rid of them. Don't try and be strong, because you're just using up a lot of energy that you actually really need. Stop being so hard on yourself. This is true. Research shows that when you feel guilty, you most likely won't follow through on what you say. And self-compassion actually boosts motivation. Send yourself a lot more love. And if you don't do what you say you're going to do, find a way to do it, but don't be hard on yourself. Right? Support yourself, because you need to be your biggest support and champion. And lastly, build stronger habits, right? Build your willpower muscle, practice. Set challenging exercises more often by giving yourself small goals throughout the day. So if you were able to do something, say you went to gym for 15 minutes, maybe try 17 minutes, or push yourself a little bit more every single day, and you'll start to build more confidence as well, because you're doing the things you say you're going to do and you're succeeding in them as well. So make things as easier and as small as possible. So I hope you found some value in today, and there's 4 ways to boost your productivity. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've got any comments or recommendations, please write them in the comments block below, as well as contacting me, Kirstin Odonovan, at www.topresultscoaching.com. And finally, if you're ready to talk to a course consultant and get started, or if you'd like to find out more about study options, please call 1300 77 90 80 or enroll online at www.getcourse.com.au. Thank you so much. To your success.